Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to know if you should buy or rent a house, pros and cons. Let's get right into it. Purchasing a home is an important part of the American dream. However, deciding whether to buy or rent is a major decision that affects your financial health, lifestyle, and personal goals. Which option you choose is entirely dependent on your lifestyle and financial situation. Both require a regular income in order to afford the payments and associated costs, and they may also necessitate some effort to maintain. However, there are several distinctions that distinguish renting from owning property. Renting a property does not entail all of the responsibilities of homeownership, and you may have more flexibility because you are not necessarily tied down to your property. Owning a home is a significant investment, but it comes at a high cost, both upfront and in the long run. Owning a home isn't always preferable to renting, and renting isn't always as straightforward as it appears. We'll go over some of the key differences between renting and buying. Renting a home. The most common misconception about renting is that you are wasting money every month. This is not true. After all, you need a place to live, which always costs money in some way. While it is true that monthly rent payments do not contribute to equity building, not all of the costs of homeownership do. When you rent, you know exactly how much your monthly housing costs. This amount is specified in your lease so that you can budget accordingly. In some cases, your landlord may include other costs, such as utilities, storage, and homeowner association fees if you live in a condominium in that amount. As a renter, you may face rent increases when your lease expires. If you live in certain parts of town, the rent increases can be even more dramatic. This may not be the case if you live in an area where rent ceilings and rent control limit how much, if at all, a landlord can raise the rent. Renting allows you to move whenever your lease expires. However, if your landlord decides to sell the property or convert your apartment complex into condos, you may be forced to relocate quickly. Less dramatically, they could simply raise the rent to a level that you cannot afford. Owning a home. Home ownership provides both tangible and intangible advantages. You not only have your own home and can make decisions about the look and design of the space, but you also gain stability and pride of ownership. However, keep in mind that changing your mind about where you live can be costly because real estate is an illiquid asset. You may be unable to sell when you desire. Even if you do, you may not be able to get it at the price you desire, especially if the housing market is in decline. Even if it's up, there are significant transaction costs to selling your home. Even if your mortgage payment is lower than your rent, the overall cost of homeownership is higher than renting. You have to think about property taxes, trash pickup, water and sewer service, pest control, tree trimming, and homeowner's insurance. In the early years of a long-term mortgage interest can account for nearly all of your monthly payments. In a 30-year home loan, it can take up to 13 years for more of your payment to go toward the principal balance. A $100,000 loan at 4% for 30 years will cost you approximately $72,000 in interest. You will, of course, recoup some of that in tax deductions if you can itemize. Not to mention repairs and maintenance, which can be quite costly. You might discover an unexpected leak in your roof. Roof replacement could cost an additional $12,000, which may not be covered by your home insurance policy. The decision to rent or buy is influenced by your financial situation. However, it is also about your comfort and future vision. Ignore people who tell you that owning is always better in the long run, or that renting is a waste of money. Ignore anyone who tells you that buying makes more sense if your monthly mortgage payment is less expensive than your monthly rent payment. Housing markets and life circumstances are far too diverse to make such broad statements. In the past, people were frequently denied the right to own land because of their race, ethnic backgrounds, beliefs, or marital status. This is against the law. Although practices such as redlining, in which people are denied services based on their race or ethnicity, continue to discourage members of minority groups from purchasing a home, they should not. Mortgage lenders should only consider the borrower's ability to make payments. Before you do anything, consider the risks involved, especially when purchasing a home. Obtaining a mortgage frequently necessitates the use of significant financial leverage. People with mortgages can make huge gains if housing prices rise. However, you stand to lose if prices fall. During the subprime meltdown, an unprecedented number of Americans found themselves underwater on their mortgages. The key is to keep an eye on housing prices by using the Case-Shiller Index. If the prices appear to be too high, renting for a few years may be a better option. Despite the risk, additional expense, and extra chores that come with owning a home, many people prefer to renting. It provides a more permanent environment in which to raise children. It is also frequently frequently the only way to have or create the type of home that people desire. Finally, the decision to rent or buy is not solely financial, it is also emotionally charged. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll produce for you guys. We're signing off now, but we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.